Welcome to a Community Partners interview where we explore the organizations, opportunities, and resources that look to make change in our daily lives. I'm your host, Paige Whitehouse, and you're listening to Voices for Ability Radio, all abilities, all the time. Today, I'm joined by Danielle Strnad, the founder and executive director of DramaWay. DramaWay was founded by Danielle in 1999. Danielle saw an opportunity in the community to provide creative arts programs emphasizing a uniquely compassionate, process-oriented approach to education, arts programming for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Danielle's philosophy of putting participants' needs first remains the backbone of DramaWay. DramaWay is currently hosting 15 programs that span the realm of the fine arts, servicing over 450 individuals on a weekly basis across the GTA. Thank you for joining us today, Danielle.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
For our first question today, tell us a bit more about you and what inspired you to establish DramaWay and why work with individuals with disabilities.
Well, I grew up doing a lot of volunteer work up in Muskoka, and I just love doing, a mix of theater and working. I volunteered a lot with community living and did some support work over the years, and it was just something that I really, really loved to do. And it wasn't until I guess I was taking a theater program at some point after I went to social service worker program at Sheridan. And when I was done the social service worker program, I felt like there was something missing, because I had been doing a lot of studying gerontology and things like that, and had worked, in an older adults home and an older adults center at Square One, and just done various different programs where I'd work with different people. And I felt like something was missing. And so I went back to like my theater roots. And it was when I went to this workshop, a drama workshop here in Toronto. And I said to them, oh, it would just be so cool if there was something where, you could blend like social work and drama. And I never knew about drama therapy or anything like that. And so I just, it was my teacher who had actually said, well, you should try this. And I heard that there was a program at Windsor at Concordia, and I applied, and, the option came from Windsor or Montreal. And no offense to those who live in Windsor, but Montreal seemed far more enticing. And so when I went there, it was just such a wonderful program. I got to see kind of drama therapy in action and take part in some productions. And so the long and short of it is that I really got to see the effects of how drama was so therapeutic. And even, during the summers, I would be working at, a retirement lodge up in Huntsville, and seeing the impact of things that I didn't even know theoretically. I was just doing these things instinctually, working with, those who had Alzheimer's and various different things, and doing the drama was just so impactful. When I would try and set up different scenarios, you could see that the music and everything was really helping them to remember and to really touch their hearts. And so it was just through that I decided, what, this is really what I want to do. And I took my, Bachelor of Fine Arts at Concordia with a specialization in drama and education. And it was just such a learning experience, and came back and I just started to create different programs. And at first I started, on my own. And then ultimately, at that point I was working with both the all abilities community and the mainstream, everyone kind of together, young kids, old adults, like I was doing it all. And then at one point I had someone, a marketing individual, advise me that maybe you should do this specialty area. And that's when I really decided to, really zone in on working with all abilities. And it was just such a true love that I realized. And then I started meeting amazing, artists across the city, across the GTA, and really collaborating and bringing it all together, because, I started with just drama. And then when I met all of them, it really then expanded to offering programs that span the realm of the fine arts, because I was meeting filmmakers and dancers. And so I think that's the long and short of it. I don't even know if I answered everything, but that's kind of how I started. It was just a true love of theater and working with people, and that's kind of where it developed.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's true what they say. You love what you do. It doesn't feel like work, right?
Exactly. Totally.
While doing my research, I saw that you have a couple of different programs that you offer. Can you tell us a little bit more about those programs?
Yeah, sure. So we offer, as I mentioned before, all of our programs span the realm of the fine arts. So we've got a theater program, we've got dance, we've got a vocal program, a songwriting program. We also have a social and life skills program. We also have another program, which is the multi-art. So we're blending, the drama, the theater, the music, the storytelling, the acting, all of the life skills are intermingled with all of these programs. Some are online, some are offline. We've also got like our move and mingle where people come and we do some light stretching and we also do socializing. That was one of our programs that developed during obviously COVID and when we did a lot of, everything was online like anyone else. So, a lot of these programs have just developed from not only a need, but also, requests from individuals that we've seen. And so it's really kind of been amazing to be able to offer these. And of course, we have our programs that we do where we host. So we're working out of rental facilities and then people come to us. But there's another angle of that where we're also working within the community. So this is what we call kind of like our corporate programs, but essentially it's out in the community and we're going out to various different schools or agencies to offer similar programs. And it's kind of, they come to us and say, okay, I would like a blending of the dance and the theater, or, we want to do a life skills program, or some day programs will come to us and they've got, say requirements from the government to deal with, say, rights and responsibilities, for example. And so we come in and we develop curriculum that's surrounding that. And then we go in and we offer that, whether it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. It just depends on, the budget and such. And, we've had odd requests. Like, one time I had a request to do a D-Day birthday, like for a young, it was a boy's birthday. And this is what the family asked for. Doing random birthdays like that, where I would bring in then a friend of mine that's an actor and he dressed up all in his army garb. And, sometimes you just do very random requests as an arts organization. But, you also get requests. Like I know we had a lovely time doing a program for Hayden Park where they were doing their 100th year anniversary. And we were able to go in and develop a presentation around, their historical elements of that school over the 100 years. And, there's various different opportunities that we've had to work on so many exciting projects over the years. And really with so many special guests, whether it's filmmakers like Yuri Paputz or Gerald Bontoni, so many different, various skilled artists. And it's just amazing to be able to offer this. And I think a lot of our youth and adults really feel that it does make a difference in their lives. And it's just an honor to be able to do this on a daily basis.
And out of all your programs, which program do you think is the most favorite out of all your programs?
It's hard to say because I would love for my performers to speak for themselves. But if I were to go with what I hear many of them saying, I think if you just look at logistics, if there was a marketing person that came in, we've got, 4 to 5 theater programs alone, a couple dance programs, a vocal and a songwriting program. And so theater seems to be the one that many of them are drawn to, but it's also our longest standing program. So it's not to say that that's their favorite per se, but I do think that that's the one that's been going where, we're able to have people come to the theater. One of the biggest things that we do is offer our annual art showcase. And so before we used to work in our theater program on this entire play that we would do at the end of the year in June in the springtime. And we would just have people come to the locations that we were renting out of, right? But what we do now is we have a longstanding relationship with Paper Mill Theater. And so our entire showcase is there. So all of the different groups come. We have a 2-day annual art showcase, sometimes, serving upwards of 120 performers. We've had upwards of around 750 audience members come through, and it's, really, really exciting.
And I also saw on your website that you have a shop. What products can someone buy in your shop?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. Our merchandise is kind of a newer element, thanks to our amazing general manager, Angela Longo, to help us get that going, and Doc Alexander, our business consultant. But we have some T-shirts. One of our latest one is a really fun mantra that we actually use in all of our programs, which is, I am me, I am great, I am ready to create. And one of our staff, Megan Bradshaw, had said, why don't we put that on a T-shirt? And we were like, okay, let's do it. And so that's kind of the latest one that came out. But we've also got mugs as well. And we used to have all of our showcases available in our shop too. And most of those now we're just putting up and making available for anyone who wants to see. And we welcome, day programs in schools to arrange screenings for their students and their participants to watch, because these are showcases where we have full professional lighting and costumes and sound, and it's just so exciting. So it's a great opportunity for people to kind of come out and see how capable our performers are. It's hard to kind of really get the proper budgets to advertise for these things, so it's programs like yours that really help to get the word out there. And we are really doing such quality work, and it takes, the community to kind of help share spread the wealth out there, that this is a program that really does have a lot of opportunity for so many people.
And are there any restrictions to the services at DramaWay, such as age, disability type, caregivers, or family members only? Things of that nature?
We really do have the capability of working with all ages, but we have specialized in working with ages 14 and up. So there aren't necessarily restrictions per se, but we do tend to veer into working with youth and adults primarily, of all abilities. And restriction wise, unfortunately, there is a fee. So we are hoping to get grants once we get the charitable status approved, but right now there are fees to the programs. And so, but what's great is people can use their passport funding to help fund their programs. And so if they have respite dollars or SSH dollars, they can use that towards this, because it is considered quality respite. So other than that, there aren't really any restrictions. I mean, we welcome all, and we try to be adaptable as possible and inclusive as possible. And so we welcome everyone to come and try it. And we also welcome volunteers. We have a huge roster of over 65 volunteers on a regular basis who come and help us out, and many of whom have found it really helped them in their careers and directed them to become teachers or social workers. So many opportunities for everyone, really.
And without using any names, can you share a success story with me and what supports are put in place when someone asks for help?
So I would say a success story would be one of the young ladies that we've been working with has really been able to flourish from all the opportunities. Her family and her always tell us, without you, so-and-so wouldn't be able to do what she's done. And we've got her doing, public speaking. She just traveled across the country to go and give like an hour-long speech, and it largely due to her ability to be able to learn presentation skills and being on stage. She also just did Fashion Art Toronto, where she was on the runway with other, professional models on the floor, and just nailed it. So there's a lot of different public service announcements that she's now paid to do. That's just one example of one of our performers who have really been able to take it to the next level. And you asked me one last question there after listing an example.
What supports were put in place when someone asked for help?
One of the supports that we do is we have obviously in-class supports, but we also have out-of-class support. So what that means is, say, for example, if someone's in a dance or a theater program, they may get tutorials that are designed by our facilitators. So in regards to supports, they may have different things, like we have our YouTube tutorial, which the teacher will create and develop, whether it's a dance or acting out a scene, so that then our actors can model that and practice it at home, because we obviously only see them once a week if they're only in one program. And so, you can only get so much accomplished in an hour and a half, right? But we've also got like sensory items that we bring into the class. We also make sure that we've got a 5-to-1 staff ratio, and then our volunteers are additional on top of that. If someone needs to take time out of the class, we usually have a nice quiet area where they can go and kind of decompress before entering. We also have different aids that we might use, whether it's listening devices or microphones that might help particular individuals. We sometimes adapt the material if there's someone that needs it from a visual perspective. There's so many different things that happen that we do behind the scenes, creating PowerPoints that are learning aids for the performers so that they can practice, the understand the plays or the productions that we're doing. Sometimes our songwriting facilitators are developing tools that they're able to sing the song, and then the actors can the singers can hear it and practice that at home. And so that's just a few of the various different things that are put in place that then help our performers. And there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes with our general manager communicating with families and caregivers, if there's issues that are happening, so that we can be on top of it and help the performer, whether it's creating a plan for them, like a specific individualized contract, which then maybe myself or one of the facilitators will meet with the performer and the family to discuss. That's just a few things that have happened. Even like adjusting costumes to suit different needs. If someone has, a particular need with one limb or the other, or like a wheelchair user that might need the costume adapted. That's just a few of the supports that we offer.
And what is the one thing that you see happening over and over again to individuals with disabilities that shouldn't be, and how do we stop it?
Well, I would just say, terminology is really challenging. So, everyone sees and needs things in a different way. And so, we definitely don't want to use the R word. This is sometimes still happening in the community and really outraging when we hear this. And, obviously, really just listening to, for us, it would be our performers, but to anyone with a disability, listen to what they're saying and what they're asking, and don't just assume what they're thinking, because, that's something that's really important, that we really try to be person-centered at DramaWay. And I would just say that, a lot of people are underestimating the skill and the ability. Yes, it may take time. Say, for example, employers, they may, be reticent at the beginning, but if they actually just give them a chance and, did a little bit of extra training at the beginning, it would probably be one of their most loyal and dedicated, employees. I know at DramaWay, we have people coming back year after year. They are so dedicated and so loyal. So my theory is just treat everyone equally, try to give everyone a chance, and, it'll be outstanding what you see come forward. That's simply what I think. Just really treat everyone equally. Try to really practice, the inclusion of just thinking of another person first. Be empathetic and don't just assume. There's also things that we find at DramaWay, even if you're speaking with someone in a wheelchair, you can do different things physically, like lean down, sit beside them, get to face level. It's just, there's a wide range of different things that people can do in the community. And I think sometimes it is just ignorance, and that some people just need to be exposed to various different situations, and they probably would learn the appropriate way.
And I know we talked a bit about the annual art showcase, but are there any events coming up for DramaWay? And how can someone get tickets? And is it available for the public or just your families with your participants?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Paige. So our annual art showcase is the weekend, I believe, of June 7th and 8th, and hopefully I got those dates right. But at Paper Mill Theatre, we don't have the tickets available yet, but they can just visit our website, dramaway.com, and then we will have it featured on our homepage in the new year, 2026. And usually we start selling tickets around March, and it is open for anyone and all people. It's an incredible time. It's obviously very suitable for children as well. And it's like I said, 2-day showcase. We start at like 9 in the morning, finish at 9 in the evening on the Saturday, and usually a full day Sunday too, like 10 to 6. And they will just be able to enjoy theater and dance and singing. And it's a wonderful day of just fun. You can really make a family outing of it. And we have accessible seating, and it's really a day that you don't want to miss.
If someone wanted to become a member or volunteer with DramaWay, what is the process for joining as a member or volunteer?
So as a member or a volunteer, you can just reach us at the office, like info@dramaway.com. Or you can just email our general manager directly, Angela@dramaway.com. And but if you go to our site, in our contacts page, we've got various different opportunities for volunteers to sign up online. And then for our members, our participants or performers, when you go to the programs page, you'll see the various different programs that we offer. You can click on the different pages that you're interested in. You'll see videos and you'll see write-ups about the programs. Now, some of our performance programs will say that they're closed, but we always encourage people to call, because we are adaptable and we are flexible, and we never want someone to not have the opportunity. So we are often able to maybe adapt the script and bring people in on occasion. But some of our other programs, like our multi-arts or social and life skills, literally just go to the website and then you can just literally register online. Or if they need assistance, we can walk them through it just by calling our office, the DramaWay office.
And what is the one thing that everyone needs to know about DramaWay?
I would just say, one of the age-old sayings that we say is, if you're having fun, you're number one. So, fun is utmost of importance to us, but I think, we really take care, and it's a place where people feel compassion and empathy, and they really feel accepted. So, just come one, come all. And like I said, if you're having fun, you're number one. And just believing in yourself, like that mantra that we always say, you are great and you do have the capability to create.
And unfortunately, we are running out of time, but for our last question today, if listeners are looking for more information, how can they reach out to you?
So I would say they could call us at 416-614-1078 to reach our office. Often we are out, so we may not answer that automatically, but we will definitely get back to them. And the best way, though, is just to go to our website, DramaWay.com, and then, navigate through there. You'll see the various different programs, our history, about us. It's all kind of laid out there. And if you want to meet up, we could do an in-person where they can come and attend a free trial class with one of the classes that might interest them before making any commitment at all. So there's lots of different opportunities, and we're here to help. So we'd love to connect with anyone that's interested.
That's all the time we have today. Thank you, Danielle, for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Paige. We really appreciate you sharing our program.
This has been a Community Partners interview on Voices for Ability Radio. Until next time, have a grand day.